5 weeks into Operation Epic Fury, the official line from the Pentagon remained steady. Iranian air defenses were largely destroyed. The U.S. military projected total confidence in its control of the skies. On April 3, 2026, that narrative fractured. Deep inside Iranian territory, an American F-15E Strike Eagle was struck and brought down. Traveling at hundreds of miles per hour, the aircraft's 2 crew members were forced to initiate a violent ejection, hurtling toward a hostile landscape where enemy forces were already closing in. This triggered a Combat Search and Rescue Protocol, or CSAR. It is one of the most dangerous missions in modern warfare, requiring slow, low-flying recovery teams to penetrate the same contested airspace that just claimed a supersonic fighter. Within seconds, the high-altitude air campaign hit the dirt. The priority shifted from neutralizing strategic targets to a desperate scramble to locate 2 Americans before they were captured or killed. Pulling off a recovery in these conditions requires a massive, coordinated package of aircraft. At the top of the stack is the HC-130 Hercules, which provides critical airborne command and refuels the helicopters mid-flight to keep them on station. Providing cover for the extraction are A-10 Warthogs. These attack jets fly low to clear the drop zone and provide heavy close air support, physically shielding the vulnerable helicopters from ground fire. Through that protective screen, HH-60 Blackhawks descend. Inside are para-rescuemen, elite special operators who must execute the physical recovery under the extreme exposure of broad daylight. The operation was only a partial success. While 1 pilot was rescued, the helicopters took on small arms fire, wounding crew members, and an escorting A-10 was damaged so severely the pilot was eventually forced to eject. Despite the intensity of the effort, the status of the second F-15E crew member remains unknown. The friction encountered during the single tactical rescue reveals a troubling reality. If the U.S. struggles to secure a localized patch of desert, its ability to manage the far more complex fallout spreading across the region is in doubt. Iran is not attempting to match American air power fighter for fighter. Instead, they are waging a relentless war of attrition that avoids direct military engagement. By weaponizing the geography of the Persian Gulf, the Iranian military has shifted its crosshairs away from hardened bases and toward undefended economic infrastructure. Swarms of drones and missiles have targeted critical civilian assets, including a massive combined power and water desalination plant in Kuwait. This strike hits at a fundamental point of failure. Kuwait relies on these facilities for 90% of its fresh water, making this an existential target. The damage is spreading across the Persian Gulf. In the United Arab Emirates, falling debris from intercepted missiles has struck natural gas facilities, causing fires. The human cost of the wider campaign is reaching a critical mass, with official figures reporting 13 U.S. troops killed and 365 wounded to date. Iran's asymmetrical strategy is effectively bypassing the American military. They are shifting the catastrophic costs of the war away from the cockpit and directly onto global civilian and economic infrastructure. The regional chaos has reached a tipping point, effectively closing the Strait of Hormuz. Commercial oil tankers are sitting idle in the open ocean, unable to transit the world's most critical choke point. To quantify the scale of this paralysis, we have to look at the latest figures from the International Energy Agency. Shipping through the strait has dropped by a staggering 90%. Regional production has hit a wall, with 8 million barrels per day vanishing from global supply. Consequently, Brent crude has surged to $109 a barrel, threatening to destabilize global markets. The conflict has fundamentally mutated, from a localized military operation to a cascading economic crisis, felt at gas pumps worldwide. There's a widening gap between this ground truth and the political rhetoric coming from Washington. Despite the ongoing crisis, official promises claim the U.S. will easily reopen the strait and cake the oil to make a fortune. Critics and military analysts are warning of a different outcome, arguing that the U.S. is lurching into an uncontrollable forever war with no clear exit strategy. The tactical struggle to rescue 1 pilot serves as a preview for the larger conflict. Extracting the global economy from this spiraling crisis will prove just as perilous and uncertain as the mission to bring that missing airman home.